Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is my last tutorial for October. Yes, it's very sad, but let's get started. Alright, first off, I'm going to take a brown pencil just to map out the areas of my face. I split it into 4 sections. So 2 are going to be beauty and the other 2 are going to be a skull. So I already primed my eyes and put on my eyebrow. Next, I'm taking a hot pink shadow and putting that all over my crease and blending it up. And then to deepen my crease, I'm going to take a magenta shade and throw that right to my crease. Now taking a smaller brush with a darker purple shade, I'm just going to start to blend that into my crease, going along with the shape of my eyelid. And then I'm just going to blend everything together, make sure there's no harsh lines. And then I'm going to take some yellow eyeshadow and pop that on my brow bone. I wanted this eye to really stand out. And then I'm going to go back in with some more pink just to blend that yellow in. And now back with the purple and blend it up. Now for the eyelid, I just took a white cream base. I'm just going to map out the shape of my eyelid, and then I'm going to put a bright green on the lid, but I'm leaving a gap between the green and the purple, a small white line, because I'm going to put some lime shadow. So I just took this lime eyeshadow, I'm just putting it right in between. For the lower lid, I'm just going to throw on some white cream base once again and rub it in with my finger. And then I'm going to take some of that purple that I used in my crease and I'm going to throw it underneath and really darken it up. Now I'm just going to take some more of that hot pink and go right underneath that purple and just blend everything together. Taking some more of that white, I'm going to put on my inner corner, blend it out, and then put a pop of yellow. Now I'm just going to line my waterline with a nude pencil and go back in with a smaller brush with the purple and deepen my lower lash line once again. I'm taking these lashes, I'm just going to pop them on, and once that is all done, I'm going to move on to foundation. So I decided I wanted this line to be a little lower because I wanted my highlight to show. So I'm bringing it a little lower so I could incorporate a highlight. So now I'm just throwing on my foundation, and I didn't even bother putting on a primer, to be honest with you. You could put on a primer if you like, but I didn't bother with it. So I'm just putting on my foundation all over. I'm just going to conceal or highlight my face as I usually do. Once everything is blended out, I'm just going to set it with some translucent powder, making sure to get all the areas that I usually crease. And then for the rest of my face, I'm just going to set that with another powder. Now I'm just going to contour. And I'm also going to get my nose as well. Now I'm just going to blend out all that contour and dust away all of that loose translucent powder and apply my blush as well as my highlight. Next, I'm just going to apply my mascara, and then I'm going to set my face. Now that that is set, I'm just going to move on to my lips, and I'm lining my lips with a berry colored lip liner, and then I'm taking a bright purple liquid lipstick and filling it in, and then going back in with the lip liner just to make sure that all of my edges look nice and neat. And this is what it should look like so far. And now I'm going to move on to the skull portions of my face. So I'm just going to fill in the areas with a white liquid body paint. And I'm going to actually give this 2 coats. So after the first coat dries, I'm going to apply the second coat, and I'm going to avoid my eye area because that's going to be filled in with black. Okay, when that is all dried, I'm going to start to map out the details of the skull, and I am using a picture as a reference, as well as feeling my own bone structure to figure out where I want to put the lines. I'm just using a black eyeshadow with a very small eyeliner brush to map out all the details, and then I'm shading it with a little bit of a larger brush, taking a little bit of black at a time because you just don't want to throw the black right on there. So I'm just going to continue to map out the details where I want and shade them in. Now I'm just going to go along the borders between the skull and the skin to show that the skin is on top of the skull and not the skull on top of the skin, if that makes sense. So the skin is going to cast a slight shadow onto the skull. So I'm just going to go around outlining the borders, and I'm creating the little tip of my nasal cavity right there. And then I'm shading some more in, creating some depth and detail. And you're going to see me going back and forth a lot, you know, just to get it how I like it. The eye portion, I pretty much just filled it all in with black, so the shading didn't really matter too much. Yeah, so now I'm just going to move on to the other side, and I'm just going to start to create the teeth and the jawbone structure. Now to deepen up the details even more, I'm just taking a black water activated body paint, and I'm going along the edges of the details that we did and just tapping it out with my finger. And I'm just going to keep on doing that all along the entire skull. Now I'm just going to take some white body paint and start to highlight those teeth and any other area of the skull that I want to pop forward. Now I'm just going back in with some black eyeshadow and just shading a little more. Making sure to go around those teeth in between those grooves. With a black eyeliner, I'm just going to go ahead and cover up my entire eye. So I'm just putting it on my lid and just spreading it all out, covering up all that shading that I did. That's why I said it's not really necessary to do the shading part, because I was just going to fill it all in anyway. And then I'm going to set all of that with a black eyeshadow, and I did line my waterline with a black eye pencil. And I'm just going to go along the borders with the black water activated body paint once again to make sure it's nice and crisp. Now taking red body paint, I'm just going to go along the borders to make it seem like it's blood. If you want, you could just use regular blood if you like, but I really didn't want it to go anywhere, so I just used the red body paint. Okay, so I decided to take off some of the skull because I wanted some of my jaw to be showing, and I actually did the same thing on the top portion of the skull too, just so some of my forehead will be showing as well. I didn't want it to be completely filled with the white, so that's why I'm just removing it with a makeup wipe, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill that part in with a foundation like I did my rest of my face, and then I'm going to continue on. So I'm just adding the shading as I did on the other portion of the borders and making sure to bring that down, do the same exact thing to the bottom, and then add the white highlights and fill it in with the black as well, as I did for the other portions. Now I'm just going to add the red to look like the blood once again, and then I'm going to continue on to make the staples. Alright, so I choose to do staples instead of stitches, so I am just taking a silver cream paint that I have, and I'm just creating where I want my staples to be on certain areas of the skin going onto the skull, like so. And I chose the staples because I wanted it to look like when the staples went into the skull, it would appear as if the skull was cracking because of the staples. So I just took a little bit of that black water activated body paint and started creating little cracks along the inside portion of the staples where they're hitting the skull. And now I am just taking a little bit of that black eyeshadow just to create a little bit of a shading around those staples to make them pop out even more. And on the parts that are going into my skin, I'm just taking a brown eyeshadow and creating small lines around the staples to make it look like the staple is grabbing hold of my skin and pulling it. And I'm just blending it out with my finger, and then the look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for bearing with me through all of these Halloween looks. I absolutely love October and Halloween. And if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like this video. Until next time, guys. Bye.